It was impressive. I had him, I think I had him at the beginning of the year somewhere between 28 and 32. I thought he would do that. I thought he would be double digits in interceptions, considering that guys that's normally in their first year, Bruce Arians, and he liking to throw the football down the field, he sometimes forces you to put the ball in harm's way. So I thought he'd be somewhere between 28 and 32 touchdowns, but double figures of interceptions, something that we don't normally see from Tom Brady. And so he exceeded what I actually thought he would do. No questions about it. I'm not going to sit there and say he didn't exceed. But Skip, let's be real now. We got to be, let's be objective about this. 30 of his 40 touchdowns came in 10 games against teams that didn't make the playoffs. He's 1-5 against teams that made the playoff. He's 10 touchdowns, 9 interceptions. Now, here's what is a non-playoff teams. First of all, he ended the season with 12 touchdowns, 4-game win streak. The Vikings are 25th in pass defense. Falcons are dead last. The Lions are 30th. Falcons, again, dead last. So he did that. But let's not pretend like he did it against the 85 Bears. Let's not pretend he did it against the 2000 Ravens. We haven't seen him play these kind of games against the Saints, against Kansas City. Granted, he played the second half against Kansas City, but he didn't put together anything like this against the Bears, against the Saints. So for me, Skip, kudos. He did this. He did through 40 touchdowns at age 43. I'll give him a B for the season.
How about scale of 1 to 10? How high would you go?
7.5.
Okay.
7.5. If he had a couple of these games, like he had against non-playoff teams, against the Saints, or play games like that against Chicago, now I'm going 8.5, 9. But like you said, I will give him kudos. He exceeded. Even Bruce Arians says he exceeded his expectations. I mean, he finished the season 10th in QBR, 19th in completion percentage, 11th in yards per attempt, and he threw, 12 interceptions, which is the 6th most interceptions in the league. So I think it's a great season for him, considering. And if somebody would have told me that Tom Brady was going to throw 40 touchdowns, I said, man, you don't get out my face.
Somebody did tell you he was going to throw 40 touchdown passes, and that guy's sitting across from you, and I told you that before the year. He'll throw 40 touchdown passes.
And I told you to get out my face.
40, and you laughed at me. You laughed at me, 40. So all of a sudden, when you're in it's like,
okay.
We got.
Oh, that's what that was about. That was about the
40. 40.
Okay.
40 touchdown passes. Thank you very much.
That's a magical number.
You just saw the greatest 43-year-old season from a quarterback you will ever see.
The greatest 40-year-old season.
Okay, well,
40 and above.
No, you can have Patrick Mahomes, and God knows if we'll be sitting here to watch that, because it's a long way away.
That's 15 years.
But the point is, there's no way anybody's ever going to top this.
Probably not.
Degree of difficulty, and by the way, I'm giving him a 10 out of 10 on the scale for degree of difficulty.
And what's
in a pandemic, you threw him to a whole new team with a loser's mentality, a team that went 7-9, an organization that had the worst winning percentage in all of sports history, the Buccaneers. And in a pandemic, you took away their OTAs, you took away all their preseason
But
games.
You took away that from everybody else, too.
I got it, but he's having to start over, and you're not giving him any run-up. You're having to throw to guys in the park, and you get booted from the park because you're violating pandemic.
But you're pretending like he's throwing to Quez Watkins. He's throwing to Mike Evans, who's the first receiver in NFL history to start his career with 7 straight 1,000-yard seasons. He's throwing to Antonio Brown, who had 5 consecutive 100-catch seasons, has led the league in catches and receiving yards, and Chris Godwin.
Okay, so remember what he had to do on the fly. He had to instill and install the Patriot way in Tampa Bay. It's hard because all they knew was we get the sugar. We get lots of balls thrown to us. We don't win, but we get the sugar. And all of a sudden, you had to teach Mike Evans and Chris Godwin, and halfway through the year, Antonio, you're not going to get the sugar nearly as much as you used to. We're going to win games because they went 11-5. That's the best record that franchise has had in 15 years. It's the first winning record they've had in 10 years. It's their first playoff appearance in 13 years because Tom showed them the way, the Patriot way of this is how we're going to do it. And what was his first comment about his receivers after the game yesterday? This is such a selfless group.
Right.
That's it. So you took all that talent that had statistical brilliance a year ago, and 2 of them made the Pro Bowl. Any of them make the Pro Bowl?
No.
No. Did they go 11-5? Yep, they did. And you took Tom Brady, and you said, bad fit, square peg, round hole. Can't make it in no risk it, no biscuit, bombs away offense of Bruce Arians. What's the stat? At all the great quarterbacks he's coached, we can go right down the line, they all had a bad year, a high interception year in the first year. So he wound up with 12, and he had one yesterday where he hit little Scotty Miller, and as he went to the ground, he couldn't hold the ball and just popped it up into an interception. And lately, he has not been throwing. There's the Scotty Miller. This is the one pick he had in December. See, I mean, come on. Are you going to fault him on that?
No.
No, thank you. Okay, so let's look at what he achieved in the Bruce Arians offense. He led the NFL in air distance, so nobody threw it longer and farther than Tom Brady did. So he's doing no risk it, no biscuit like crazy. Has he ever done that in his career? Maybe a little bit in 2007, maybe a little bit, but not like this because he ran away with air distance. By the way, Aaron Rodgers 8th in air distance, so it's 1st to 8th on that one. So you can see what was happening. And then if we look at touchdown passes, he tied for 2nd. And I know Aaron ran away. Aaron was phenomenal throwing touchdown passes. Okay, that was just silly what he did throwing touchdown passes. It's ridiculous. But Thomas tied for 2nd with Russell Wilson. Okay, that's pretty good. And that was the 2nd most Thomas thrown in his career.
Behind the 50.
Okay, behind the 50. So you got to give him that. Okay, then the yardage, 4,633. Not quite what Jameis threw for last year that led the league, but it was still 3rd. Aaron Rodgers was 7th. So it shows you he's bombs away. He's throwing for a lot of yards on a lot of deep throws. And in the end, if we could see the way he's throwing the football, you doubted his, you thought he had declined in arm talent, arm strength, whatever. And then let's just look quickly at the montage of his touchdown passes yesterday. I just don't see any. I don't see any decline in fastball.
This was a great throw here.
Yep. Okay, so he's rolling right.
He was throwing to Scotty. He was throwing a little Scotty Miller.
I don't know.
He was throwing to Scotty. See Scotty in the back.
Well, AB swiped it.
I ain't letting the ball pass me either, if I may be.
Okay. And he's still lethal in those little short, the red zone throws. I don't know. I'm still seeing Tom Brady. I'm seeing 43 going on 23. And I'm seeing a team that, albeit feasting, especially the last 3 games on those
bad defenses.
3 teams, 2 Atlantas, obviously, and a Detroit. I saw a team that started to come together because he managed to force feed and fit Antonio Brown into this rotation when they were 6-2. And now AB had his biggest game yesterday, had 138 yards, and he threw him 14 balls.
Tom
got him his incentive
money. Yeah, Tom got
him $500,000.
There's a lot of guys. Emmanuel Sanders.
He got it.
he thank God for Drew.
And don't think Tom wasn't cognizant. Okay, so the point is, they have come together. I don't love their defense. I don't particularly trust their defense.
The defense to be had, Skip.
But their offense. Ronald Jones came back yesterday from his broken finger, and he was running with force and suddenness. I think they are a very dangerous playoff team. I picked them to win the NFC. I'm going to stick with that pick. But you know what they're going to have to do now? They're going to have to probably, if they can win at Washington, and Washington does have what you always tell me, Washington can rush the passer.
Yep.
So can they get Brady off his spot?
Skip. Yeah, but Alex Smith, you see with the Eagles, they pressured Alex Smith, and he like, what do I do? What do I do? What does Todd Bowles do? Nobody heats you up like Todd Bowles.
Nope.
The water's going to be boiling on Saturday. They're coming. Now, not only do they like to bring just JPP and Shaq Barrett, because Shaq Barrett didn't play yesterday.
Nope.
They like to blitz their interior linebackers also. They're going to heat him up. They're going to make him move. And I cringe every time Alex Smith goes back to pass, Skip, because if you notice he throws the ball and he picks that right leg up, he don't want anybody to get near it. Skip, I'm playing football. And it's a great story, but I'm playing football, Alex. I'm sorry, bro. They coming. I just want you to know, just prepare yourself. They are coming. Tampa's like, Skip, there's a reason why Bruce Arians played these guys. He wanted that 5th seed. He wanted whoever came out of the NFC East. That's what he wanted. The Giants. He wanted the Cowboys. He wanted Washington. He said, that's the matchup. I ain't trying to fool with Seattle or New Orleans until I have to. You think I want them the first round? No. Let me get warm. Let me get my feet warm first.
So, if the favorites win, chalk sort of holds, then Tom Brady would go from winning at Washington to having to play Aaron Rodgers at Lambeau Field. Aaron's talking about let it snow, let it snow, let it snow, because he said it's different. Devontae said after the game, it's just different up here in January.
It is. And you look at the last couple of games, Skip, when it's snowing, you look at what he did against Tennessee, you look at what he did yesterday against Chicago, it was like it was 80 degrees to him. We haven't seen him play like that. I mean, it's hard to say that Aaron Rodgers elevated his play, but we remember, Skip, what was it, 2011? He was 45-6. He threw 45 touchdowns, 6 interceptions. He's even better than that this year. 48-5.
Except for one game at Tampa Bay.
Yeah, but y'all gonna have
when he got off to a nice start, and then he threw what were nearly 2 straight pick sixes. And for the last 3 quarters, he failed to score a single
Don't worry
point.
about it. You'll hit that McCrinkleberry again on you guys.
Is he going to get his revenge? They'll have 2 weeks. They're the only team in the NFC that gets a bye this year. They will have 2 weeks to get ready for Tom Brady visiting up there, if Tom Brady can get past the Washington football team.
Yep.
And I think that game will be a little closer than they're a 7.5-point favorite. I would, if I were betting on this game, I would take Washington and take the 7.5.
They front seven. I mean, the front seven is good, very good. I mean, they can get out the quarterback, but that back end, Skip, and you better get there. You better get there. Now, the thing is that you saw the field was a little wet, moist last night, slipping all over the place. That bodes well for Tom Brady because those D linemen can't just dig in and just come off the ball. So it's going to be very interesting. I don't think the game is going to be close as you think because of Washington's offense. I think there's going to be a lot of 3-and-outs. And the last thing that you want to do against Tampa is be 3-and-out and Tom Brady gets a touchdown early. You're in trouble.
Thank you for watching. You can subscribe here to get the latest from the show, and be sure to check out more of the best clips from Undisputed, or go watch a few other segments from our other shows on FS1.